What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Junkies. I'm your host, Farhan, here giving my man Vito, and it's Black History Month, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Power to the people, all that good stuff. And of course, as a result, if your movie is not drenched in melanin, it will not be getting any airwaves on the Real Junkies until March 1st. That's just how we're moving. I'm starting out with Black Dynamite because you know what I'm saying? Why not do a spoof of blaxploitation movies to start out? You know what I'm saying? We really wanted to do a blaxploitation movie, but we figured, you know what I'm saying, something a little bit more recent that still has that feel would probably be a little bit better to touch on. So here we are with Black Dynamite. Came out in 2009, starring Michael Jai White, who is a legend in my book, at least.
This was a
This movie's laced.
yeah, it's a very campy movie,
Yes.
but Michael Jai White. I just went. What other comedy have you seen him in?
Honestly, I can't think of one. He's really just like a action hero
So
type of actor. Like, this is really the only comedic film of his I could think of.
I'm glad you said that, so I can get this out of the way. The last couple things we've done, we talked about how there's no more action movies because there's no more action stars. If there's no more action stars, there's no more action movies. And Michael Jai White is probably him and Addison's. I don't know how to
Scott
say
Adkins, yeah.
Atkins, yeah. They are probably like the last two action stars that we have.
Yeah, true
And
action stars.
yeah,
Like, we're not talking about like your Chris Pratts or
right.
somebody who like does really other movies, but they'll do like an action movie here and there. Like, I'm
And
talking action star is that's all you do.
yeah. And it sucks because the movies that they put out are not usually good. And
Yeah.
that
That's the problem.
you know,
That's the problem
but
right there.
but we have so many actors and so many big budget movies now that the movies that we used to do, those big action movies that used to come out back in the day weren't good movies either. But they had big names attached to it.
Yep.
You don't have what you have now where you got Chris Pratt starring in fucking 4 or 5 movies in a year, you know.
Uh-huh.
You usually had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone,
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren. You had these people coming out with like 1 movie a year, maybe 2 movies in a year. You know, if you had motherfucker coming out with 3 movies in a year, they was about to die. Or they died
Yeah.
and the movie's coming out after they die. Like,
That's real. That's real though.
you just didn't have it. So like when you do have a Michael Jai White still, and it's weird because his range is so weird. Because like you said, he's primarily an action star, but then we've also seen him in more serious roles. What is it? Why Did I Get Married? He's been in
Yep.
all of those
Oh
where
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
very serious role. He's had a few TV shows, um, and I don't know, man. Like I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves.
He doesn't.
Being a
He definitely needs to be getting, I think, recognized a little bit more for his contributions, like wide scale in Hollywood. Because to your point, he is one of the true last action stars we have, but he's shown some versatility in
yeah,
other areas as well.
and not only his acting, motherfucker knows like 4 or 5 different forms of martial arts. He's competed in competitions. He's won championship. Michael Jai White. I mean, the only issue I have with Michael Jai White right now is this nigga keep on doing DJ Vlad interviews.
Hey, bro.
Like,
We do need to get our people off Vlad. I ain't gonna lie. That is
doing DJ Vlad interviews.
2026. I do have that request. We need to get our people off Vlad.
I don't know
bro.
what type of relationship they have. Like these niggas, like he knew DJ Vlad back in fucking 20, 30 years ago, and he covered him or some shit. I don't know what their relationship is, but I hate when I see niggas on DJ Vlad, especially motherfuckers that I like. If I see if I don't know if him and like if I see Faison Love or Ari Spears on there, I don't give a shit because they already some corny motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But seeing motherfuckers that I like actually on
That
DJ
you are actually a
Vlad,
fan
I'm
of.
like,
Yeah.
yo, what are we doing? But
Yeah.
yeah, so to get out of the tangent and get us back on track, Black Dynamite, dog, is like I said, it's a campy movie. It's a blaxploitation film or a spoof of the blaxploitation films in the from the 70s. And everything, every trope that you can see that you've seen in those movies back then is in here
Times a million.
times a million. Like he take this shit to the max, dog.
Yes.
And I guess if you've only seen both of us have only seen scenes from the movie. So when you see the scenes and you're like, okay, this is funny, I got to check it out. You know, you're not like, okay, they have comedic parts in it. But once you start watching it, you're like, oh no, this is like, don't be a
Full-blown
menace
spoof
to
movie.
society compared
Yes.
to menace to society. That's what this is. And they do it well. Sometimes I think it's like I say, it's campy to the part where some of the parts are like so over the top. But again, that's what campy is. You know,
Yeah.
it's meant to be over the top, and it's so bad that it's good, and shit is hilarious.
Yes. It's really hilarious. Like, that's really what it is. Because it's like, if we're just objectively speaking, it's a lot of parts in this movie that are like kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Oh
gonna
no,
be
not even kind like terrible.
like, if we're gonna be completely honest, there's certain shots and just way things are framed, and it's like, dog, like, what are we
Why
doing?
did y'all
But
do this?
yeah, like, why did y'all do this? It's certain like story decisions that are like, that was what are we doing? But to your point, it's hilarious from start to finish, so you forgive a
Oh,
lot of it. Because a lot of those things that I'm talking about that would be considered bad scenes if this was a movie we were supposed to be taking seriously, in this, you accept it because you acknowledge they set it up very early on. Hey, y'all, don't take shit you're about to see in this movie serious. And if you go into it with that mindset, you actually are going to have a great time because it's a lot of quotables, a
dog.
lot of really funny character moments, and some decent actions for a spoof movie, some decent over the top action scenes that are very over the top and hyper unrealistic,
You know what I
but
wasn't
still
expecting?
entertaining. What?
I was not expecting titties in my face as soon as I started the movie.
Bro, scene 1, like, opening scene, like, they didn't even, like,
I
set you up. It was
I
like,
did
boom. I'm
not
like, "Oh,
expect to
shit."
see titties in my face, and, I enjoy it, you know, always,
Yeah, not complaining at all, but it
especially
was just
black
I just
titties.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that's what we was on scene 1, I thought we was working up to that. Like, they just
So,
popped it in, like, first scene.
Imma get this out the way, and then you can kinda give us the rundown of the movie. Shout out to our black queens.
Have a lot to choose from now.
Like, Imma highlight 4. I think these were the major ones in the movie.
Okay.
Obviously, Kim Wheatley, if you know her from, Next Friday, Friday After Next. It's the auntie. What was her? Cookie?
Cookie, yes.
Cookie, alright? Everybody knows her.
Yes.
Nicole Laurie Parker, who I don't recall seeing her in the movie, but
She's listening to credits?
she's listed in the credits. Even at the end of the movie, she's listed in the credits. I just don't remember seeing her, but there's a lot of people in this movie
Ah,
that I don't remember seeing. Sally Richardson Whitfield, I just found out who she was, like, a month ago, and I'm glad I found out who she was.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the last and not least, who, I know me and you just got done talking about this, Nakia Secrets, who plays Euphoria.
Yes. Shout out to Euphoria. She was involved in one of my favorite scenes in the movie, I'm not gonna lie.
Euphoria trip.
Imma give a shout out to Dion Gibson who plays Aphrodite, since you just took literally everyone else. So I just had to you left me with one left, so that's I gotta take the last one available. But, like, I'm not gonna say a stacked cast, but
No,
it's a
you
cast
can, you can.
really, I would
I
say a
say
cast filled with people who are
B and C listers.
relevant. Like, yeah, but, like,
That's
they're all impactful B and C
so
listers. Like, it ain't like you just
yeah.
got anybody, you
So
know what I'm
that's why I'm
saying?
saying that they're stacked because you got motherfuckers in here like, Nicole Sullivan,
Yeah.
who was on Mad TV series regular. She's
Arsenio Hall is in this.
she was on, Blackish as a
Yes.
guest star, but she's done a lot of shit. You know, you got Tommy Lee Davidson. I can't remember the other guy's name. Starts with a R.
Trying to think who you talking about.
He was one of the pimps. He was also in, damn, what movie did we watch with, Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor?
Oh, Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights. He was also in Harlem Nights.
I'm trying to think who only person I can think in here that's also in Harlem Nights is Arsenio Hall.
Not Arsenio Hall.
That's not ringing a bell for me.
The
Oh,
point is, it's a stacked cast. There's so many, I don't wanna say just actors because there are other people in this movie, well, they act now, but there are
yeah.
it's so many actors in this movie that there are scenes that you don't see till the credits and you see people. Fuck ass
Mhm.
Brian McKnight in here, you know?
Bro.
Who expected to see fucking Brian McKnight in this shit?
Nah, that's real. That's real. This cast was like, to your point, it's stacked, but it's stacked with B and C listers, but they're impactful B and C listers.
Yeah.
And they all really bring their own like impact to the movie. Like, I will say this, even though this movie is a collection of very random scenes that sometimes do and sometimes don't connect
That's
to each other
exactly
at
what it
all,
is.
but I will say there aren't a lot of wasted moments in this.
No.
Like, there are not a lot of
Something's
wasted moments,
always
or like
happening.
there is always something going on. Like, this movie does not really waste time. It's a tight film. It's like an hour and 24 or 25 minutes. So each scene they have to like be making progress in the story or having something impactful happening because it's not a whole lot of screen time. And I that's one thing I do appreciate about this film is the pacing is very consistent. It does not really slow up at any point. And getting into just like the story, if you want to call it that, like if you even want to call it that, because this movie is the plot to this movie changes.
He definitely forgot about why he started doing what he was doing.
Like the plot of this movie starts out as Black Dynamite's brother gets killed because he was an undercover informant, basically. We go from there, that's like the crux of like what gets the events of the movie started. And then from there, this movie proceeds to be about so many other things that eventually don't really have shit to do with that, but kind of do have shit to do with that at the same time. It goes all the way to the top. And by the top, I mean the tippy top. The tippy top. Like this movie goes from that and goes on the most exaggerated adventure you can go on from that being the starting point. That's the most I can say without, I guess, spoiling it. This is a spoof movie, so
no, the movie came out in 2009.
I feel it, but you know, you're right though. It's like, but this movie really progresses from that to, you know, battling mobsters and drug dealers to battling politicians to battling heads of alphabet agencies. Like it really progresses off the deep end just from a dude trying to avenge his brother. Like it goes off the deep end just off of that. And really along the way, it's really just Black Dynamite interacting with more and more off the wall characters who all refer to him as Black Dynamite. I guess that's his government name.
It's almost like a sketch comedy show, but the one person stays constant. Or I guess not a sketch comedy. What is it? Improv.
Yes.
If you were to go watch an improv show and you're like, oh, because the improv is all it's yes and. When something happens, it's yes and. So it's like, all right, so what if we kill his brother? Okay, yes and let's keep going with that.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bring down the drug trade. Okay, cool. Yes,
and the CIA's involved somehow.
CIA's involved. He's trying to it's shit's hilarious. I don't understand. And he was a part of the writing, Michael Jai White.
Oh, really?
I really would love to know like how much of this he had his hand.
He had a hand in putting together. Yeah, no, absolutely. I would like to know that as well, honestly. One of the best parts of this film, like I feel like the calling card, obviously the comedic moments, but the quotes. This is a very quotable movie for a spoof. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of touched on the Euphoria scene, but Euphoria already shut the fuck up. You already know that's you. I don't even gotta look. Like scenes like that are to me what make
I'm
this
gonna
movie
see you back to Chris Shaw Pete with a hot. What did he say? Something about a hot call. You just like that? Would you like that,
bro? Like,
so that part was funny to me because he's having this dialogue, and again, it's this dialogue that you've seen a lot in these blaxploitation films when they were speaking to people, and he has a bunch of catchphrases that he uses. And he's doing his catchphrase, and he's so serious, I don't even want to say serious, but he's very like calm and cool with it.
Yeah.
And Euphoria finishes his scheme, and the anger that goes over this nigga's face. So like that's why like we talk about him being an action star, but he's actually a really gifted actor as well.
He has really good comedic timing. Michael Jai White has some very good comedic timing. I ain't gonna lie, my personal favorite quote from this movie is the diner scene. That's just the thing that it's the thing that I identify with the most. Just I don't know why this shit is so funny. It's just the way it opens. It's just so real. Because I feel like everyone's had this experience at some point when they were like after they go on a little him and there's a group in this film that's very akin to the Black Panther Party, or is the Black Panther Party that Black Dynamite's working with. He brings in somebody else, character named Cream Corn, and they're all kind of like in this little group to take out the drug traffickers / CIA / politicians in the federal government, who are all the villains at the same time. So the scene in this diner after they're like kind of debriefing, trying to piece the puzzle together, and you just watch this waitress go back and forth, just not acknowledging them at all. Black Dynamite's like, this shit just don't make no sense. Cream Corn, you know what else don't make no sense? The service in this motherfucker. Bitch, do you see us? Like
the way he said the shit. Bitch, do you see us?
Bitch, do you see us? Like it was the line delivery. I'm like, bro, this shit is gold. And then just the irrational order he puts together. I want 2 sausage links, 2 sausage patties, split down the middle twice. Get some bologna, slice that up, get spatula, smush fry it. And 1 waffle, please.
And
that scene is perfect to me.
Nothing.
Hey, all she had was a chicken from last night. I can get you that if you want. Hey, that's all I got.
There's, like I said, there's so many throwaway scenes in here. This is not even a good scene, like a a good scene of mine. But they go to a restaurant. They go to a restaurant. It's Roscoe's Chili and Donuts.
Bro.
It's Roscoe's Chili and Donuts because they're
Yes.
in LA. And when this scene happens that Farhan's
Alright.
talking about, she's like, I ain't got none of that meat. I can give you the waffles and I can give you chicken from last night.
Right.
And you don't
Chicken
even
and
see the nigga
waffles?
at first. And the nigga goes, chicken and waffles?
Shit,
That's
waffles?
it. And
Shit,
like,
that's it.
if you're not paying attention, you're not going to pick up that that's
You're not gonna
Roscoe's
catch it.
Chicken and
Chicken and
Waffles
waffles,
because
yes.
nigga, what? Like where did this shit come from, dog? Why was he in that restaurant when he has his own restaurant?
Yes.
In the middle of the day. And
Yeah, no, I caught that immediately. As soon as he was like chicken and waffles, that's it. I'm like, ain't no way they're trying to say this is how that's how that shit started.
and why the fuck was it a chili and donuts restaurant?
No, that's not even the most ignorant part of that scene. The most ignorant part
What she ordered
is when Black Dynamite walks in and Cookie's like, yeah, can I get some hot sauce on my donuts? I was like, I know I heard that wrong.
I said, what the fuck is happening right now?
I was like, I know I just heard that incorrectly. There's no way in hell. But to your point, to show you how over the top this movie is.
So one of my favorite quotables is when he first shows up to the when he follows the revolutionaries to their place. And one of the niggas questions him. Like he questions him like, oh, you ain't
Yeah.
shit. You ain't nigga, you ain't this, you ain't that. And this nigga said, I'm blacker than the ace of spades.
Please.
Yo, this nigga is hilarious, dog.
Bro, Michael Jai White, this is my favorite performance of his by far. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like his absolute, like, as far as the acting ability,
not
like
the
best
best,
dramatic role or anything. But this is my favorite performance of him because this was like you could tell he had so much fun with this role. You see it come across in his performance because this was a great time. This is a great time.
It's extra funny to me because, like I said, this came out in 2009. I don't remember seeing shit about this movie until maybe 2015, 2016, which I think is after the cartoon came out.
Yeah, the cartoon aired from like 2011 to like around that time, 2016. So yeah.
So like it came out at a time where you weren't getting many spoof movies. I think that we might have had a dance movie came out at the time.
I think Scary Movie was still kind of happening around this time.
That was like when it was ass though.
Yeah, we were like on Scary Movie 4 by this point.
Yeah. So, but still, it still wasn't that many spoof movies coming out. But when you look back in the 80s and the 90s, it was a spoof movie every day. Like you said, you got the Loaded Gun series. You got
Airplane.
Love Airplane, bro. Classic fucking movie. You got the movie. There's a movie with Charlie Sheen where he plays basically Rambo. Don't remember the name of it, but he plays a Rambo type guy. You got a lot of these movies back in the day that came out, but the nigga, it's weird because like I said, it's really no good way to talk about this movie because it's not really it. If this was a TV show, this would be multiple seasons or this would be multiple episodes, and it's just smashed together. They don't have shit. A lot of them don't have shit to do with anything. His aunts, when she calls him, first of all, the nigga answers his phone and he goes, it's like Auntie Bev or something like that. He's like, what did I tell you about interrupting my kung fu?
Kung fu.
First of all, nigga, what? Like, you got standard times, but she was such an asshole.
She was terrible. She was terrible. Like, golly.
To get back to a point you brought up earlier, this nigga's name is Black Dynamite.
Like
no last name. First and last name is Black Dynamite, which is crazy because his brother's name is Jimmy. And that they don't give us a last name, but Black Dynamite
that at all.
Is his first name.
Like when I say his mama calls him that, everything. Like,
but I do want to try to push the story forward a little bit, which is gonna get to some more scenes. So I want to get to, like I said, they find out that his brother was involved in the drug trade. He doesn't know that his brother is a CIA agent, snitch,
informant, snitch, whatever.
Yeah,
he doesn't find that out until much later.
They say it, but they don't really explain what it is. So he's asking around the neighborhood and Cream Corn, he's like, hey, he's with these people. So I want to say it wasn't Double Toasted. It was another podcast, and I cannot remember the guy's name. He's a comedian. I wish I could remember his name, but they talk about the scene when he meets up with Chicago Wind. Chicago Wind, basically it's a setup to kill Black Dynamite. They cut away from the scene and it goes to the outside of the shop. He throws 3 niggas outside of the window. When they cut back to the fight scene, one of the niggas that he throws out the window is still inside, and they start fighting. So I'm like, there's no way that that wasn't intentional.
Mhm.
Okay. So all of this happens. Then, Chicago win. And I can't remember his name. Got to play Chicago win. It's Mikhail or Makai or something like that.
I cannot remember
The
either.
point I'm trying to make
I
is
do recognize that actor
this is
though.
another recognizable actor who's been in
Yeah.
a ton of things. So like I said, it's a BC list cast, but it's stacked.
It's
But
a
anyway,
stacked for a BC list stack
yeah.
for a BC list cast, yes.
Usually we
It's
see movies
stacked
with
with those.
well, I mean, like even like it's stacked with like noticeable ones, like because we
Yeah,
see a
that's what
lot
I'm
of movies
saying.
with
Yeah.
BC actors, and we don't know who these motherfuckers is.
Yeah.
Chicago Wind leaves, and he closes the gate behind him, and
Yeah.
and then I'm looking around the room. I'm like, there are no windows in this fucking room. Oh, how did he throw these people out the window for the fight? And the
Like, it just
funniest
don't
part
make
about
sense.
that scene is his homeboy. What's his homeboy's name? The one that rhymes everything.
Yeah, and the one that just kept popping up out of nowhere, like, I mean, spawning, just like
Somebody pulled a gun out on him, and his homeboy pulls up, and he's like, "Go ahead, I'll take care of this." He starts
yeah,
fighting the guy, and they're slapping each other and shit. And he
yeah.
like slaps him, and the guy's like, "Hold up, man, what the fuck?" Because again, and it like does like a little cut, and it's a whole
Mhm.
nother actor. So
Yeah.
like, again,
Yes.
I
They
don't
did
think
that shit on very, very
yeah,
intentionally,
I
yes.
don't think I should have to explain that joke to y'all, but watch the fucking movie because
Yeah.
me explaining the joke doesn't make sense at all.
This was definitely you and to your point, like this is definitely a tactic this movie used a lot
A
of
lot.
like kind of making fun of a lot of the we'll say technical or just production gaps that take place in Hollywood. Like this film like highlighted those and kind of intentionally included in them in this to make fun of it. Like this movie was making fun of a lot.
The car chase scene.
The car chase scene,
This nigga
bro, like
Chicago Wind was looking behind him the entire
the
time,
entire
taking
time.
he like
This nigga is
taking
swerving.
curves,
He
turns.
never looked forward on the road once. Not one time did he ever look straight. Like it was so many like, and those are the small details about this that I think make it a good spoof movie.
100%.
Is it's so hyper aware of what it is and it leans into it to the max. Sometimes to a fault, because I also think like part of the I'll say negatives about this movie, like, part of that is they kinda lean into it to a point where it starts to become like, "Alright, bro, it's
It's a little
becoming a
tight.
little t" Yeah, it's becoming a little too much now. Like, and there's points in this movie where I think it does that, it pushes the boundaries probably a little bit further than you would like, which is hard it's hard to say for a spoof movie what that boundary is, right? Because the purpose of this movie is to make fun of something. The purpose is to be over the top. The purpose is to be campy. So it's hard to then criticize the movie for doing those exact things. But I do think there's a healthy boundary with it that still makes it funny, but doesn't push you to the point where you're going like, all right, what the fuck?
It's weird though because like you said, I think it was a few times where it was like over the top. So I'll say one of them was when they used the same car crash twice.
Bro. I was looking, I'm like, ain't no fucking
He was
way
in a black car
they
at first, but when it's
Yep.
blowing up, it's a whole blue car. And
Yeah.
Chicago Wind's car was green, but the car going down the
Yes.
hill was blue.
Was blue.
But it goes over the line, but then it brings it back, and then it's funny again
Yeah.
because they're not keeping it at a 10.
Yeah. I do think as this movie got further along though, it got a little less funny,
Yeah,
like to me. Like once we got closer to the end, it kind of stopped working for me a little bit. But really like the vast majority of the beginning, really up until like the middle of the third act was still working for me perfectly. It was just I don't think this movie really stuck the landing with the ending personally.
no,
Like
the
it kind
ending
of
was
lost
terrible, honestly.
it lost a lot of its momentum when we got to the end, honestly. That would probably be like my major critique of this is by the time we get to the end of it, all the momentum and all the goodwill you have built up with me at that point was starting to get lost just from how much this movie unraveled in that last scene. Like it
I
just
think
kind
we
of
lost
went
it
off the deep
honestly
end.
even before then.
Where would you say we lost it at?
I was
'Cause we
gonna
might
wait till
have
I gave
different
my wrap
points.
up.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. But yeah, I think we might have different points when we lost it, but they're
Yeah,
probably within a couple scenes of each other though, because it was around. I feel like it was around a particular point where I feel like, all right, we're starting to go further into
yeah.
the deep end than I would kind of expecting. Like we're just I don't know what movie I'm watching anymore. Just to be fair. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that happened a lot as we got deeper and deeper
No,
into the third act on this one.
like you said, they were. It was like honestly, it was like watching three different movies, or
Yes.
it was like watching one movie, but then it has three different premises.
Yes.
So it starts off with his brother dying. Like, cool. It's a lot of movies that start that way, but then
Mhm.
it's okay. This person he's chasing this storyline and this storyline and this storyline at the same time, but they honestly really don't really need to have anything to do with each other. They did not.
They try to make them connect, but it's like it's very loose threads that tie them together. It doesn't really make sense.
But why is that funny? Because we're going back to the fucking diner scene.
Yeah.
And
Bro,
the he's
I already
like
know what part you're talking about.
he said, what did he say? Cold Kansas?
Cold Kansas, yep.
Cold Kansas. He said Cold Kansas, something like that. And they grabbed so many things. When you say somebody's reaching,
Reaching.
nigga, this nigga,
Reaching.
he grabbed so many just random things. Like he would say something like, okay, what's the date today? They'd be like, February 4th. All right. And if you put that in numbers, what is it? 2-4. Okay. Who wore that number for the Lakers? You
Yeah,
know?
it was like that shit. Like, yes.
You
Like it
know?
was that for sure.
And it was
Yes.
just so random. And like that part was funny. But like you said, when you look at the overall story of it, you're like, okay, it's adding a little much to the it's doing a lot.
It's doing so much, like an insane amount. But overall though, I did have a really good time with this. I was really struggling for a while to kind of figure out where my rating with this was gonna fall. Cause I feel wrong giving it a high rating. Like, cause it's not, but it's great for what it is though. Like for what this movie is supposed to be, which is an over the top, campy, 70s blaxploitation spoof movie, just created in the 2000s. It hits. Like,
Or
for that to be what it's
or
supposed to be, it hits. It hits as that. I really wish we had something in between background noise and polite applause.
damn, you getting it lower than I was going. Go ahead. I wasn't going that low.
Yeah,
A
Imma
background
say
applause.
a background applause? Yeah, like, I'm at the back of the theater, and I don't want
Alright.
nobody to know I'm here watching this, like, Imma say polite applause, and I feel like I feel like we're spamming this rating right now, but I think it's appropriate for what this movie is. Like, for what this is supposed to be, what this movie is intended to be, which is a spoof comedy on the 70s blaxploitation era films, your Shafts, your Max, Superfly, Coffee, Foxy Brown. It is a spoof of that era of films. And I think that if you just look at it in that context, it does everything it's supposed to do
Yeah,
as a
100%.
spoof of that era of filmmaking. So I'm gonna say polite applause. Only reason why I wanna go lower is because it's like this movie is actually dumb.
And then can you, let me know what part did you feel like it got lost,
Uh,
the plot?
the part where I feel like it got lost is the scene where he confronts the CIA agent that was behind his brother getting killed. He kills him, and then he gets on the walkie-talkie and starts talking to whoever the fuck
Doctor Wu.
Doctor Wu. Once that happened, that's when the movie went off the deep end for me. This movie went off the complete deep end from that point forward, and I didn't know what the fuck I was watching anymore, honestly. Like at that point, the movie shifted from being like a very effective blaxploitation spoof to just being a spoof, just for the sake of spoofing.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, all right, now we're just gonna be dumb and over the top just cause why not? Like it kind of stopped being a blaxploitation film, a blaxploitation spoof for me at that point, and I don't really know what that movie became from that point on. But it wasn't the movie that I was watching for the past hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes up to
Yeah.
that point. I just wasn't.
'Cause the third act is really short.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very short. Like the third
it
act
is
goes by
short
like
as
that.
shit.
Like blink it and you'll miss it.
Um, so like I said, we did this movie. We coulda went later. Because I'm still trying to decide what we're doing for the end of the month, and I with you saying that and, like because most comedies don't really have high ratings, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
because they're not serious, and the plot is usually lost not lost, but it's not really straightforward.
yeah.
But I think I got what we gonna do, for the end of the month. But, I did wanna give one more shout out to an actor that's in this movie, Daryl Heath.
Daryl
We
Heath.
talked about him before. I'm gonna play this for you. and
Okay.
you gonna know. I didn't see him in the movie. He was in the movie
Okay.
though.
Damn.
He, he
Okay.
Just saying, why go back to jail, you know? Oh, man, I ain't worried about jail, man. You sound like a bitch. Bitch. Man, I ain't worried about
Yo, do I
jail.
go to jail?
Shit,
Take me to
Take me to
jail.
jail.
No way to kill.
I seen him like, where the fuck was he? And I
Who
watched.
was he in this? Hold on.
He was one of the. He wasn't the main one. They call them militants. They're labeled militants in the thing.
The Black Panther Party people. Okay,
Type,
yeah.
yeah. He wasn't the one that was doing all the talk. That was another comedian.
Okay, so like the scene where Black Dynamite walks in, it's like three of them standing there. He was one of those
He's
three.
one of them, yeah.
Okay, got you.
Because again, like I said, there's so many people littered in this movie. Like I
Mhm.
said, John Sally's in here. Gail Nunez is the person I was thinking about. I don't know why I thought his name started with an R somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's really stacked, and it's like it's people that you would not like. These people came together to make a movie,
Yes.
and it's like serious actors. I'm not even gonna try to go back through people's names. I'm just give my rating. Nope, I got to do one more thing because when she said this shit, I lost it. Nicole Sullivan when she called this nigga a moon cricket.
What was the line again? I'm trying to remember. She said,
Keep your hands off of the presidential diner or presidential
"Pres-
cutlery or something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
And she called him a bunch of stuff, but then she also called him a moon.
It Moon Cricket. You know, I caught that too. I was like, damn. Like
Oh
shit.
yeah.
No, I laughed at that too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that. So the ending was mostly ass, but that part
Yeah.
hit. That part hit.
No, but yeah, like so I gave it a polite applause. It's like I said, for the most part, it's a good movie. It's funny. All those parts you wanted to hit, it hits. It's so random, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
They could have wrote it a little better. Like I said, it's really like there's three plots to the movie. For me, they lost it when they killed the mob boss because he doesn't even
Yeah.
die in a spectacular way. He dies in like it's a montage at first,
Yeah.
and then
He literally dies in a montage.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and like I said, the way that he dies is in a car crash that we've already seen.
Yeah, then they reused the footage from a previous car crash earlier in the movie for his death. Yeah, like they made it so unserious.
So I'm actually glad that they have this cartoon because I want to watch it to find out more. Like I need to know. Like I know Black Dynamite is his name. What the fuck is their last name? And why did
She's
his mama
stuck on
name him
this.
Black Dynamite and his brother Jimmy?
Hey, she ain't fuck with Jimmy.
And so it's a really funny movie. I gotta watch the cartoon.
I'm gonna check the
Um,
cartoon out after this too. I ain't gonna lie.
And
I
how
need
did you
to.
watch the movie?
I watched it on Prime.
Okay, I watched it on Pluto TV.
Okay. Oh dang. I wish I known
You
it was on
paid for
Pluto.
it?
I would have did that. Yeah. It was $4, but still. Like still. Yeah, if I had known it was on Pluto TV, I wouldn't have gave them people my money.
So it's a number of movies that's on Pluto TV. One of the ones we might do is on there too. So they got a
Bet.
and since it's Black History Month and we talking about it, there are a lot of blaxploitation films on there. So
Oh yeah.
if you watch one, it's gonna come up with suggestions for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Check those out. I mean, check out Black Dynamite too. But
Yeah,
check
check out
out
Black Dynamite. But yes, I'm with you. I want to echo that sentiment. Like anyone watching the end of this review, if you have not seen Shaft, if you have not seen Superfly, the original Superfly, not that
the ass one.
Trevor Jackson remake, we ain't talking about that.
That
The
shit pissed
original
me off, bro.
Superfly, the Mac, Coffee, Foxy Brown. I'm sure there's so many others that I just didn't name.
Original gangsters.
Original gangsters. Like if you haven't seen these original 1970s blaxploitation movies, go back and watch these because this is like a very important era of Black filmmaking that really paved the way for Black people to have a lot of opportunities in Hollywood in a time where they otherwise probably wouldn't have had those. So yeah, definitely especially if you fucked with Black Dynamite or movies similar to that, trust me, that's the era of movies that this movie is talking about. You need, I think it's very important that we still acknowledge that era of filmmaking and still talk about it, and people still go back and watch those films. That's a very important era of Black filmmaking that really paved the way for a lot of the shit you see now. Any final thoughts? Anything else that I missed?
Okay, one more line. When they tell him that, like, hey, if I knew who killed your brother, I wouldn't tell you. You're gonna leave a river of blood or something like that. And this line was fucking cold. For this nigga said, "Tell me who did it, and I'll only leave a little puddle."
Puddle. Hey, no, that was cold. That was cold.
Like, dog, that's some shit. Like, if John Wick would have said it, niggas would be like, "Yo, that's a cold ass line."
Yeah, no, we gotta give Michael Jai White the slow clap on that one. He cooked with that line for sure.
I ain't got nothing else, man. Like I said, I think they did lose us where they lost us at that car crash part, and I think that was might have been, like, 10 minutes before the, CIA part.
Mhm.
But, I mean, outside of that, it's a good movie. If you going into this thinking you about to see an Oscar-worthy movie, you're not.
Yeah,
But
this ain't that. This ain't that.
it's a very fun movie.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the best way to describe it. It's a fun movie. It's a fun watch, and you see it's a lot of motherfuckers in here, man. It's a lot.
Yeah, great time. Great time. Definitely recommend you all check this one out. Just know what you're getting yourself into when you do. Like, just understand what this is before you watch it so your expectations are set properly. Let us know if you all have seen Black Dynamite, what your thoughts are. Definitely, once again, recommend you all go back and check out a lot of those original blaxploitation movies we named. You can thank us later. Always continue to like, comment, subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. And until next time, this is the Real Junkies. Peace.